The following program is a part of Black Squirrel Entertainment.
This week, we've got fusions.
And guessing some pocket monsters.
All Systems Go
starts right now.
Greetings, and welcome back to another episode of All Systems Go, the only show that's had a bit of a long day. I'm Tired Tyler.
And I'm Need a Nap Joe. Let's get started.
Hey, here's a fun game. Every time I say the word beta, take a shot. Sony has announced a new service in regards to their betas. The creatively named Beta Program looks to create an easy, centralized place to register your interest in a range of future betas. This covers a whole range of options, from games to basic services. You only need to register once and you will be notified if you're picked for a beta. Players must have a valid account for PlayStation Network in good standing with a current email address. Accounts with restrictions or violations may not be eligible for participation. Requirements are as follows. Players must live in the region where the beta program at PlayStation is available, and players must meet the legal age requirement for their region. Beta.
Last week, we talked about how Black Ops 6 was using AI art to promote their products, which includes paid bundles with AI-generated loading screens. However, Activision decided, instead of growing a conscience to realize that man-made art looks better and appreciates the hard work of artists, they said, let's double down with our stupidity. Activision released ads for a few mobile games such as Guitar Hero Mobile, Crash Bandicoot Brawl, and Call of Duty Zombie Defender, and they clearly used generative AI to cut a corner as indicated by their artwork. While Activision has not commented on the use of generative AI for these ads, I decided that I would show off my artist skills today. Look at that. I put more work than Activision. More effort.
Capcom has decided to publish a troubleshooting guide for their newest release, Monster Hunter Wilds. This comes after extremely mixed reviews on Steam, primarily focused on poor optimization ruining user experience. One of the not recommended Steam reviews flagged as most helpful says, and I quote, "I understand that new games are becoming more demanding, and people are expected to upgrade, but this is absurd." They then went on to say, "I'm aware this isn't the first instance of new games having poor performance on launch, because the same thing happened with World, but this feels inexcusable at this point." Capcom's guide suggests updating your graphics driver, turning off compatibility mode, and readjusting settings if you're experiencing additional issues. But my personal guide for fixing these issues is for Capcom to optimize it well in the first place.
For all my friends still using Skype out there, I come bearing grave news. Skype is dying. I'm sorry. As new online chat room platforms begin to emerge, such as Discord and Microsoft Teams, unfortunately that means that Skype has officially been knocked off its last leg. As for what's going to happen to Skype, it will be shut down and replaced with a free version of Microsoft Teams. According to Jeff Tepper, president of Microsoft 365 Collaborative Apps and Platforms, Skype users will be in control. They'll have the choice. They can migrate their conversation history and their contacts out and move on if they want, or they can migrate to Teams. Skype will be going offline on May 5th, so users have a limited time to make the decision.
This past weekend, Zach, Sammy, and Jenny went to the Short Sweet Film Festival to check out the first annual Game Fest. They played demos of 5 games, including Barely Fluent, The Shopping Dead, Away in Graphical Limbo, Captain Chinstrap and the Lost Loot, and One Day. A few of the games were even developed by students here at Kent. To check out more of what we did, a recap will be posted in the All Systems Go YouTube channel once we're off the air. Boom shakalaka.
We're taking things back to the Kent State esports team and covering how things went for the League and Overwatch teams. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and let's recap what happened. For the Overwatch 2 team, Kent State won against University of Buffalo 3-0 in Week 6, with KSU having the same score against Bowling Green State University in Week 7, 3-0. However, while the Kent State League team lost against the Miami Redhawks in Round 10, 0-2, they came back against the University of Toledo in Round 11, 2-0. As of March 4th, Kent State is currently ranked 7 in the league standings, placing higher than Western Michigan University, but right beneath Northern Illinois University. For the Overwatch standings, Kent State is currently placed at 5th ahead of Miami University and behind Eastern Michigan. For more updates and information, you can follow the teams at Esports KSU.
After the break, Charlene goes frame by frame by frame.
And did we mention frames? All systems go. We'll be right back. Up next, Charlene takes a look at the new Pokemon ZA trailer.
Hello everyone, my name is Charlene and today I'll be doing an analysis of the newest trailer for the next installment of the Pokemon Legends series, Pokemon Legends ZA. Before we start, however, I would like to emphasize that by nature of theory, potential game spoilers for earlier games will occur to explain possibilities that may or may not actually be accurate. When this occurs, this icon will appear and will be replaced with this symbol once the description is completed. Baseline established, let's begin! For those who don't know, the Pokemon Legends series is a spin-off of the mainline Pokemon games that tends to involve a more hands-on set of game mechanics and to focus on strengthening relations between people and Pokemon. Since the first game in the series, Pokemon Legends Arceus, took place in Meiji-era Japan, and the 2024 teaser indicated the potential for a second, older aesthetic to come into play with perhaps a new console, the reveal of genuine future game was quite a surprise for unexpecting fans. However, after watching the layout of Lumiose City, the setting of the new game, and some of the current gameplay, it seems like this game may actually be set in the Pokemon World's version of the modern era. See, for every Pokemon game, from Red and Blue to Scarlet and Violet, there's been two features consistent from the get-go. You have some way to contact your game's professor, and a console that's been released near the time of the Pokemon game. From Oak's PC and the SNES to Nintendo Switch and the Paldean Rotom phone, it can be assumed that as the consoles are produced in the real world, they're also releasing in the world of Pokemon. And guess what piece of technology actively appears in ZA's new trailer? Yep, the Paldean model Rotom phone. It's been about 3 years since the release of Scarlet and Violet, which could explain the new parkour trick you can do with your phone. But the design and concept seem about the same, and when added to the enhanced yet pre-existing holograms, the same car designs, and the fact that AZ, the 3,000-year-old immortal who battles you at the end of the XY games, is now happily running a hotel with his Floette, yet we don't see Callum or Serena, it's assumable that maybe, 10-12 years may have passed and we're now taking on the future Kalos relative to 2013, but with the new cast and setup within this massive city. And I am not kidding when I say massive. Lumiose is canonically the second largest city in the Pokemon world, and that's only behind Gen 9's Mesagoza, while being constrained by 3DS graphics, which still make it look larger than life and extremely easy to get lost in. So for all those worried about space or gameplay limits in Lumiose, don't. This place has always been huge, and it is not stopping now. Anyway, era aside, we've also been introduced to a group of new characters, albeit no obvious new Pokemon or Mega Evolutions. You have your rival, either Urbane or Tawny depending on your player character, and while I can't identify anyone they'd be related to right off the bat, their names seem related to Urban or Town, both of which fit the redevelopment plot of the story. They also live and help out at AZ's hotel, aka the hotel you'll be staying at, as well as receive the starter week to yours, either Tepig, Totodile, or Chikorita, a surprising trio with 2 Johto starters, but possibly related to how the players resemble older versions of the player characters for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and help introduce you to the new time and range-based battle system within the game. Furthermore, we're also introduced to Jet, the head of the Quizartico group who's managing construction in Lumiose, and her secretary Vinny. Personally, direct resemblances may be coincidental, but considering the design aspect between Jet and Sun and Moon's twist villain Lucamine, and Vinny and XY's probably dead main villain Lysander, both of whom operated as benefactors with goals revolving around their views of beauty, is kind of freaking me out. Plus, Jet's name could refer to jet streams, air currents tied to a certain mega-evolving Delta Pokemon, and a quasar is essentially a shiny black hole, such as the inspiration behind a certain light-absorbing legendary. That said, while I'm struggling a bit with Vinny outside of his glasses and potential ties to a Venn diagram through his apparent work efficiency, the fact that he has a Pangoran Veneeri head hairband kinda makes it hard for me to take him seriously. And what with Pokemon's recent trend of surprise villains, well, who knows what could happen. This trailer surprised me in a multitude of different ways, so many that I wasn't able to address them all here, but what with all the new twists that have been set in store for fans, I look forward to finding out more before its release later this year. That's all for now, however, so thanks for listening and feel free to check out the trailer itself and comments in the chat below. Who knows, maybe you'll see something I didn't.
After the break, Laz spits in the eyes of Arceus like a good little Dr. Moreau. All systems go, we'll be right back.
What is better than Pokemon? Well, when you fuse Pokemon with other Pokemon, of course. Today, I'll be testing my castmates Cam, Brian, Coleman, and Sophia on their ability to identify which Pokemon have been fused to create the creatures displayed before them. How are we all feeling about this?
I'm really scared.
I've never done fusions, but who's that Pokemon?
I just don't know Pokemon, but I'm going in. I'm going in with confidence.
I feel like I should
All
be
right.
fine, but I'm gonna mess up. I know.
Well, like any true Nintendo fan, I will be keeping track of points on what is it called? The PictoChat on my DSi.
Tight.
Or
That's very
Flipnote
creative.
or whatever it's
Nice.
called. There it is. Okay. All right. So the first one. Okay. You'll get a point for each part of the fusion that you get correct.
Wait.
There won't be any more than 2 Pokemon fused.
Okay.
All right. We all ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Let's see it. Okay. Brian, can you tell me the second thing that says?
Pachirisu.
Okay. So I'm gonna say there are I think 2 points this round. There's 1 point for Cam and 1 point for Brian because that is this is I believe we're calling it Volt Kip because it is a Voltorb and a Mudkip.
Ah.
All right. Next up, I think this one looks pretty cool.
Oh God.
I don't know this one's name.
I know this one, but I don't know the second one. I'm just gonna go with it. Just gonna go with it.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flip your boards.
I don't know why I thought restaurant.
All right, we have got a point for Brian. That is Vigoroth. It is Vigoroth and Lycanroc.
Vigoroth.
Okay.
I would have forgotten because Vigoroth's from Gen 3.
Yep. Honestly, I don't think about Vigoroth very much.
Nobody does. It's the middle stage. I'm
Yeah,
correct.
middle stages don't get thought about too much. All right. This one I think is probably one of my favorites I saw when I was coming up with stuff. Question 3. I like this one a lot.
Oh.
Second one.
I very briefly had one of the little Tamagotchi things as a kid. Except I bought it on Amazon.
So
and
that's
it was-
not its actual name?
No. I'm talking about like the thing it's the art is based on.
Okay.
I probably spelled
Like
it
the little
wrong.
little thing that had like the little pet in
No,
it.
no. I know
Yeah.
what that is.
Okay,
You'll
yeah.
see when I turn my thing
Oh,
around.
okay. All right. Okay, we've still got. Looks like Coleman made a last-minute decision. Okay,
I
we ready?
fixed it.
All right. Flip those boards. Okay.
I said it
I
wrong.
will. You know what? I want to give Cam 1.5 points.
I know I did Volteon instead of Jolteon.
And that's a point for Brian, and I don't believe there are points for Coleman or Sophia.
I didn't think there would be.
So it is
we're just
it's
gonna be
Klefki
without
and Jolteon.
Mr. Carkeys.
Why did I think it was Volteon?
Why did I
Well,
think
it looks
was
like
Eevee's
it looks
head?
like
Why
a
did I think it's
Tamagotchi,
Jirachi?
so I was like,
Jolteon's
okay,
a
cool.
evolution.
I
It looks
don't
like
know.
Eevee's head with a Tamagotchi face.
I mean,
It
Jolteon
does.
It's yellow, so I thought Pikachu.
All right.
Thought
This
it was
one's a bit
Jirachi.
strange. I think it's funny. See the next one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm gonna go with what I got.
I think at least one of them is relatively recognizable, but maybe not.
Oh.
I spelled this guy's name wrong, but
As long as it's identifiable, I'll give you at least half a point. Honestly, I feel like Cam deserved like probably at least 80% of that point.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this one.
I'm hoping at least one of these is right. If
Honestly,
say
I don't know if I'd be able to get these right if I hadn't made them, or come up with them and then
I was gonna
use
say you
people's
made
art.
these?
No. These are I did not make these. I just hit random on an infinite fusion generator. Anyway, we ready? Let's see the boards. Okay, we have a. Can you tilt your board down a little bit, Brian? Okay. I cannot read that.
it's
Can you-
roly-poly and centrid.
Okay, so point for Coleman, point for Cam. So it is.
Actually scored.
It is Blastipede. It is Blastoise and Whirlipede.
Oh, Gen 1.
I
know, well,
actually
he's Gen
scored
5.
something.
It's Gen 5.
So
Yes, I
happy
said
for
Gen
you,
5.
Coleman. I'm glad one of us got
I was
something.
saying Gen 1 for Blastoise.
Okay, so Phil, you'll probably come back and get ahead of me. Who knows?
That,
Sophie, I think the next one's Pikachu.
All right, let's see.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think this one, if you look at it a little bit too much, it's kind of cute.
I can see it.
I think he's cute. She.
I don't know. I don't
We
know
don't
the
know?
gender ratio.
I think it's both 50-50, pending.
Then that would make sense. So either one is fine, probably.
I heard that, and I guessed it.
Okay.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Coleman, are you ready? Okay, let's see.
As ready as I'll ever be.
I.
Just give me the L now.
Yeah.
We've got our
no.
first 2 pointers. We've got 2 points for Cam, 2 points for Brian.
Yes.
I'm not even writing down names of Pokemon at this point.
Oh, we're there now? Okay.
It is what it is.
All right, that is all the time we've got for this game. Our winner is Cam with 5.5 points, very closely followed by Brian. And then, Coleman, you got a point. Proud of you. I hope you're not too traumatized by these creations. You are? Well, lucky for you, after the break, Eric's Pokemon Draft Tournament comes to a close. Don't worry, it'll be a great distraction from the nightmare fuel I just put on display. All systems go, we'll be right back.
Well, looks like Eric's about to conclude his Pokedraft. So, big question to ask is, who's going to come out on top?
Hey, paisanos, welcome back to the ASG PDT. Last time, Sammy showed Cam the power of fear, and after that, Eric went toe-to-toe with our special mystery guest, Morgan Park. Now we watch the glorious battle of Laz versus Coleman. Who will come out on top? Find out now.
I'm out of here. Thunder!
Thanks to Primal Kyogre, Coleman was swept away by the wave of Laz's sheer power. After the battle, we asked Coleman how long he'd been battling. This was his response. But now Laz must face Eric to see who will enter the finals and battle Sammy.
Alright, everyone, chill. 界をあるがままの姿に戻すんだ。お前の原始海洋が全部ぶっ壊せ。
Thunder!
It was a close call, but Eric narrowly defeated Laz. But a guy like that has a sweet, soothing voice. Now we move on to the finals, Sammy versus Eric, the final test to see who is the ASG Pokemon Master.
Miss.
Kill! Kill! You think this is funny? You think this is funny? It's not as funny as your face.
Heal! 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 Heal!
ポケモンは人と共にハーモニーを奏でることのできるパートナーです。
見たか？俺は天才なんだよ。少しは手応えあるんだろうな。
Get him out of here. Not at all. Get him out.
You've seen it here first, folks. Sammy is the winner of the All Systems Go Pokemon Draft Tournament. Eric tried his hardest, but the power of regeneration was just too much for him to handle. That's it for this tournament, but stay tuned for the next one, whenever that will be.
Say, Joe, what's your favorite Pokemon?
I'd say my favorite Pokemon would actually be Blaziken.
That's a basic answer. Mine's Sableye. I like him because he's a little guy and he eats rocks. That's all the time we have for this week's episode of All Systems Go.
Follow our Instagram for some fun behind-the-scenes content, our YouTube and past episodes, and our TikTok just for funsies.
All Systems Go, signing off.